Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Amateur Tournament 2012. Tonight we have a match between Sinster Evil and Falco Gaming. We're just waiting for them to get set. The team we filed last time was Sinster Evil. We haven't yet casted for Falco Gaming. Hopefully it'll be set soon.
And for on the teams, on Sister Evil side, we have Vendettas, Destroyer 900, Dactyl, Blue Iron, and Kizantir.
Yep. And on Falco Gaming, we have Eat Fox D, Hot Boba, Ninja Beats, James Thatch, and Highland.
And Highland is also the only one with Little Mountain Picture, and he says he stands alone. So we shall see if he stands alone in game also.
Alright, looks like we have a break. People got to be using the bedpan, which is a wonderful image that we want to share with all of our users on YouTube and on them. Yes, video games, gamers poop too. Let's see here. For those of you who have been following us, this is our second broadcast on OM TV. The last one was a match for the Rise Up tournament.
Yes. And we'll be doing the rest on here also.
Yep. And we also have a Rise Up tournament match, which is the match before the round before the semifinals of the whole thing, which will be 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on
Tomorrow.
Saturday.
Or yeah, Saturday. Today's Thursday.
Yeah. So that'll be in a few days for you guys. Sorry we didn't properly advertise for this. We didn't really know what was going to happen. But if you're watching on YouTube, you'll and our subscribers, then you'll just get the subscribe notice and know that it happened.
Yep.
Alright, looks like they're going to be taking a while. So, for those of you watching on YouTube, I'll probably just put in a little number thing when the game gets started for picks and bans, and then one for when the actual game gets started, which is something we'll probably do from now on for a lot of our videos. It'll make it easier for you guys to follow if you just want the action, if you want the banter before the game. Again, this is on a 4-minute delay. And then the added in-games 3-minute delay will make it a total of 7-minute delay. So we can talk a little bit more strategy than normal, just because those of you watching the stream, it's already happened.
Unfortunately, since we only have one team that we've casted for previously, we don't know a whole ton about the strategy of this match, or if we're going to have any targeted picture bans for that phase.
This is a best out of 3, just so you guys know. And it looks like they are ready. Bring up the screen, make sure we got it all set. Excellent.
So
we got people jumping around, getting set up.
Looks like Sinster Evil is ready, so we're just waiting for Team Falco.
It looks like someone from Team Falco has said that they are ready too.
We're getting a full ready, remember?
Yes, yeah. We're getting the ready list.
Let's see if it starts.
Oh, hey, there we go. Looks like first pick and ban is going to go to Team Falco Gaming. Who are they going to pick first for the ban champion?
I believe Amateur Tournament is a best-of-3 format, so we will be able to see some more targeted picks and bans in the matches after this one. But this first one will be, we'll just be going on what they go off of and what we think about those champions.
Looks like our first ban is Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia is a really strong mid lane. Lots of great harass. She's not hyper strong though, so a lot of people don't ban her in like low elo games. But some people don't like her, so they could be banning her based off of what their mid is going to be.
And for Team Sinster Evil, we have Shaco as their first ban.
Not too surprised about that. Shaco's super strong jungle, really great ganking ability. A lot of people just find him extremely annoying and don't know how to deal with him.
Followed up with Morgana ban almost instantaneously by Falco Gaming.
Another mid. Morgana is a pretty more standard ban, so I'm not surprised about it. All it means is that they don't want to have to deal with her in mid lane, and she's really strong in teamfight phase too. So.
And Sinster Evil followed up with a Cassidon ban, which was almost immediately followed up by a Rammus ban from Falco Gaming.
Both Cassidon and Rammus are pretty standard bans that at ELO that's a bit lower. Since things aren't more targeted, you kind of have to go with just the general bands of champions that are extremely strong throughout the entire game, and Cassidy and Rings are both two of those champions.
And last but not least, Sinster Evil sets up a Scion ban.
Scion's not a usual ban, but Scion, either AD or AP, can be ridiculously strong top lane, and also do mid if they're AP. So, not surprised about that. They just don't want to deal with it.
So we have Swain for the first pick for Falco Gaming.
Swain's a really strong champion. With his summoner spells, I'm going to guess he may potentially go middle. He can go top 2, though, and he has a lot of great sustain. So,
All right, now we're finding out who the first 2 picks for Sinster Evil are going to be. Looks like we might have a Shen.
Shen's really strong since that patch update, so a lot of people like picking him.
Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get to see a ban of him.
Oh.
That's been pretty popular lately. And followed up with a Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, she's a good mid game. Her late game, if you use her abilities, it's a little hard. You have to focus a lot on just auto attacking. They don't mesh that well in the late game. Most of her abilities are for like setups and chases, and her ultimate's pretty easy to stop. So we'll just have to see how well that Caitlyn does against the counter pick for opponent lane.
All right, let's see who the next 2 picks are from Falco Gaming are going to be.
And then Shen, he picked Killer Avoidance, so I'm going to guess he might be their bottom lane. So they're going to play almost like an Alistair or a Blitzcrank style.
Looks like we have an Ashe chosen for Falco Gaming.
Ashe is going to be a really strong counter lane to that Caitlyn. Caitlyn does a bit more damage in the early game, but Ashe has slightly better farm. And late game, Ashe is
And it looks like we're going to see
really
a
strong.
Looks like we're going to see a Skarner jungle.
Skarner's really strong jungle. I think they did recently nerf him, but he's still super strong. His ultimate's a really great engage, and he can slow and gank pretty well.
Looks like for the potential support, we're going to see Sona on Sinster Evil.
Okay, I think we're going to see a switch then, because that Sona has teleport and heal, or I'm sorry, and flash. So we'll see a Shen and a Sona switch. So it'll be Sona, Caitlyn, bottom most likely. Unless they do something really out of the meta and put a Sona on top, which would be really strange.
You never know. We've seen some strange things.
Yeah,
They're
right.
waiting for the last second, and they choose Maokai as their jungle or potential jungle.
I think that's a really good pick. They're both jungles are really strong lane gankers, and I think Skarner has a slightly better counter jungle, but Maokai is really defensive with his jungling anyways, so he can stop a lot of counter jungle.
And it looks like the first pick, or the last 2 picks for Falco Gaming are going to be Taric and Gangplank. Now, they could change these champions. They do have 15 seconds, but Taric is locked in.
So Taric's a really good bottom support, but I'd say Taric meshes a little better with a couple other ADs rather than Ashe. I don't think Ashe is going to get the full effect of what Taric can do for her. But that does mean that their bottom lane does have a slow, has a stun, and has an Ashe arrow stun too. So in the mid game, that could be very dangerous if they mesh really well with what they're doing.
It looks like we do have a brand instantly chosen by Kazintir, who is the team captain, and that has been locked in, so Brand is the final champion for Sinster Evil. And now we go into the final countdown, followed up with the 3-minute delay.
Yeah, and then we got the switch up, but it looks like... well, first I'm going to talk about that mid. Brand versus Swain, and if Swain farms enough, I think it'll be a pretty even lane. Swain's going to have a slightly harder time farming in the early game because Brand's farm is pretty good, but Brand shouldn't be doing enough damage to kill Swain, so I think he should be all set in middle lane. On top lane, we have Shen versus Gangplank. We'll have to see how that Gangplank builds. If he builds Gangplank, I think that'll actually be a little bit of a mistake. Because Shen's damage, while it has been increased, hasn't been increased substantially. And Shen's just going to build tanky and ignore Gangplank eventually. So I'd say we might see a more attack damage-oriented Gangplank, which could be a problem for Shen, at least in the mid to late game. Summoner spell-wise, in the bottom lane we have a Flash Heal and a Heal Clairvoyance for the Ashe and Taric, which will give Taric that good Clairvoyance for his stun. Also, Ashe will have the Clairvoyance for her arrow. She can also use her Phoenix Shot too, so that'll be pretty good. And that's versus a Flash Heal and a Flash Exhaust. So a little bit more sustainability on the Taric Ash side when it comes to summoner spells, but a bit more control on the Sona side. But since Taric has a stun and Sona only has an ultimate as her stun, I think that exhaust will go a long way in making sure she can keep her lane safe. In the jungle, we have the same thing, Flash, Smite, not too unusual. On top lane, we have Teleport and Flash. So it looks like we will be having 5-man dragons, and top lane, if they save those, we'll be able to use those a lot to enter good team fights. And then mid lane is Flash and Ignite, which isn't that unusual, so those will both be pretty good. I think mid lane, though, Brand has to be pretty careful, because you have Swain, who has a lockup, and you have Maokai, who has a lockup. So if Swain initiates with the lockup, and Maokai's in the back, then he runs out. Swain does a bunch of damage, gets all his stuff on him, and then Maokai goes for his charge and locks him up again. That could be a very dangerous middle lane.
Yeah, definitely.
So I would have to say, in the late game, both teams are actually pretty even because they both all have a little bit of AoE and a lot of damage. I'd have to give the Caitlyn might be like, if she doesn't have good positioning, she's going to be a little weaker than Ashe, and Ashe is going to have better chase. Caitlyn has one great chase with her ultimate, but if it's blocked, it's stopped. Ashe has freezing arrows and a frozen ultimate, so that'll be pretty dangerous. So I'm going to guess that late game is probably going to go to Team Falco if they can keep it out, while in the early and mid game, we're going to see a lot from Sinster Evil because they have a lot of lane control.
Yeah, those saplings are awesome.
Oh, and I just said, oh, wow. I just talked about mid lane using Maokai as their jungle for... Okay, I was completely wrong. I just noticed that Swain isn't on the team.
Maokai, yeah.
But either way, it's still the same thing with Skarner because he has his ultimate, so, and he has the slow. So sorry for the fail about talking about that, and if you were confused, then just ignore me. I wasn't really paying attention, and I just noticed it, so.
Looks like we're going to have that issue again. Sorry about that for those who are watching. Well, you will be able to fix it almost instantaneously.
Yeah, so we won't miss anything in the early game. Now, if we could just figure out why it keeps happening, would be super awesome.
It would be. I was playing just fine not too long ago, and I only X'd out of the program and then logged back in, so must be something.
Also looks like we may not have... Oh, no, okay. Swain just connected. I think we might just start having... like, setting it up to where it's full screened. And then...
switching it to borderless in the game?
Yeah.
That might be a really good idea.
Because that way we don't have to keep swapping resolutions and stuff.
Alright, let's see. Almost everyone's loaded now. As far as skins go, that's a really cool brand skin. We do have a nice Skarner skin up top. And a Caitlyn skin. Everyone else has your standard artwork. But I really like that brand skin. It reminds me of one of the character skins from, what's that called? Killing Floor.
Yeah. I'd have to say, I think I like his blue one a little bit better. But, yeah, that one's... Brand has all good skins. Even his regular look is really good.
Yeah, he's just a cool-looking character. I mean, yeah. I like things that are on fire, so...
Right.
It just always looks good. Alright, we are all summoning, waiting for what's going to happen next. Hopefully everyone loaded, and we're actually going to start the match. Sometimes it does take us a moment to hop in once everyone's done summoning.
Of course, there's also times where we hop in and it auto drops us because something happened in the match and they quit.
Alright. That's it. Now we do have some pinging going on. We're about to find out what that pinging means.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Looks like we had some invade pinging.
Yep. It does look like Falco Gaming is getting ready to invade their jungle.
Okay, we either have a CV or a ward there. That was pretty big, so I think
That was a CV. Yep. As we have seen it faded. They did not get vision of Falco Gaming, so they are playing very protective of their blue.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
So it looks like they're just
Well,
setting up.
Yeah, they're not advancing, so...
We could see a really early gank on mid lane with a Taric stun. That could be almost a guaranteed gank.
Yeah, he did pick Dazzle as his first choice for his special abilities. We do have a lot of pinging in here from Falco Gaming. And here they come. Same thing in the jungle. The only one they're probably going to catch is Shen, who's watching their jungle. They're not catching one, but they're probably going to pick up Wraiths. Yeah, they're going to clear out those Wraiths. Shen now sees them do this. No, Gangplank's coming in here. I took out Wraiths. We do have a CV going down. And it looks like Maokai's going to pick up blue. So, while they did take Wraiths, it should be respawning relatively quickly, so...
Yeah,
by the time Maokai's done, they might already be back out. Especially after he grabs Wolves.
But he is at least a little bit behind. Or did he actually? Yeah, I think they grabbed Wolves instead, so...
Oh, yeah.
I'd say that actually evens it up. That just means that he's going to hop to his Twin Golems a little sooner.
Yep.
But that also means that his smite timer is going to be maybe a little off. So he may have to wait a few seconds to start his red.
Yeah, that is a good pickup, though. Maokai did see them come in there, knows they grabbed Wraiths, and is just walking straight to Golems instead of wasting time chucking Wraiths, just to make sure that he knows the timer. So he does know the timer well. And won't be missing on any time. Looks like he's going to go checking his bush. We do have a couple pings.
Looks like he wants someone to pull it.
No, I believe that was a ping by Falco Gaming.
Oh, I can't see the mini map, so.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, looks like we have Shen battling Gangplank up top. Gangplank taking less damage than Shen right now. In the middle, we have Brand pushing pretty hard. And at bottom, we're pretty much tied up with Ashe and Taric and Sona and Caitlyn.
So yeah, all of that jungle stuff just evened out.
Yep, because I believe they're both on their reds now.
Yep.
Yeah, although Skarner did finish his a little bit faster.
Yeah, so Skarner's like one camp ahead.
Looks like he's coming in to gain Brand.
Just barely outside step.
Ooh. Looks like he's running up back to his bush. We do have the Ignite go off, but unfortunately he pushed back Swain so much that he couldn't do any damage, and Brand's going to be alright.
Yeah, Swain's going to be... he'll be doing better once he gets 6 and he gets his sustain from his ultimate. But until then, he's going to have to play it a bit more safe.
Yeah,
unfortunately, that Brand is like, super clutch and dodging all of those roots. So.
Yeah, very aggressive too. Just working out in his favor. We do have awards going down for both teams. More traps from Caitlyn than wards. Looks like the only wards are for Falco Gaming. Looks like they're probably just using the traps as signals that someone's entering their jungle. Let's see if there are any wards in the bushes down here. No. That looks like Brand is getting a little bit ahead in XP. They do see Maokai here, so they're going to back off. Gangplank's hanging out in the bush.
I hope he doesn't actually walk out of that bush.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty safe. But here comes Maokai. He's going to meet them. He might be able to root him.
He's
Roots him down.
Oh, okay, orange is going out.
Yeah. Nice remove Scurvy from Gangplank's going to get him out of there. Rooted for only about a second. Looks like Tarek and Asher begin to push bottom. We do have another CV going down on Wolves. For Falco Gaming. Lots of damage going down to Brand. He's going to have to go back. Looks like Swain isn't going to dive the tower, which is probably a really good idea at level 4. Brand sticking it out, though. I don't know if this is a really good idea. One misclick from Brand, and he could be pretty killed.
Well, Brand has a pretty good range on those other things there, so we should be okay for now.
Yeah, he's kind of playing safe.
I think the other unusual thing, though, is that Gangplank for a while there was actually really behind in CS. He just started to catch up, which I believe was because Shen went back, but Shen was sitting around 30 while Gangplank was at like 15. He just caught up, though, and then on that bottom lane, looks like Ash is at 38, and we got 45 for Caitlyn. So Caitlyn's a little bit ahead, which isn't too much of a surprise. She has a slightly longer range than Ash, and her headshots can be quite the problem for the early game harass. But she's still maintaining at least a 5 or 10 difference, so that's not too bad.
Looks like we do have a lot of wards going down now for Sinster Evil. Both teams warding really well now. Pushing the tower a little bit close. Skarner's coming in here. He might be able to grab them. Looks like he's charging in. They might be able to grab Sona. The Sona flashes out of there. And nice shot by Caitlyn. Pushing them back and keeping them contained. Stopping the gank for Skarner. Brand now really pushing middle.
Yeah, Brand has to catch up a little bit in CS. He's at 33 while Swain is at 37. And Swain's starting to get that sustainability. And if his jungle gives him some blues, he'll do really well against that Brand. Unfortunately, Skarner's jungle is pretty blue dependent, so we'll have to see if he's gonna just do a slightly like a slower jungle and not spam Q as much, or if he's gonna take that blue and just have middle played a bit more safe.
Yeah, I believe Maokai's jungle is really blue dependent as well, so we're probably not going to see a lot of blue buffs go down for Brent as well. Ooh, we do have an engagement. I do see the Echoes off. Skarner coming in too late. Brand's going to back off.
Maokai's there, though.
Maokai is there. He's charging in. We do have the ult from Swain. Skarner looking for Brand, who's now escaped. And Maokai coming in to babysit the lane while Brand is forced to go back. So is Swain, so they're both missing out on CS here. However, that does give Maokai some free CS, but it looks like he's going to go back to farm in the jungle again. Caitlyn and Sona now really pushing bottom.
Yeah, they've been pushing pretty hard all game, and CS-wise, Caitlyn's now at 65, while the Ash is at 56, so it looks like Ash is having to hit off the turret a bit and maybe missing a couple, but still, maintaining a not too large of a gap, so we'll have to see which ones go back first, though, because neither bottom has gone back yet.
Yeah, we do have only a little over 100 gold difference between both teams. We have no kills yet, no first blood. This is a very even match right now. We do have Swain and Skarner coming up, but Shen is already going back.
Well,
so seeing that.
First blue was given to Brand there by Maokai.
Ah, very nice from Maokai.
I personally haven't jungled Maokai, so I don't know how...
It does look like Skarner also gave up blue to Swain. So they are even. Skarner's coming in, going to be looping around. He does have his ultimate up. Shen looks like he's going to do golems. So this is going to be 2-on-1 for Brand. He's playing it safe. He does have that warded, so he can't really get hit from behind. Maokai coming in to support him. We do have the ultimate up by Swain.
Ooh, Swain may have overextended.
Ooh, he does get rooted. Lots of damage. Brand goes down, picks up the first blood. Swain absorbing so much damage, not able to drive off Maokai. First blood goes to Falco Gaming, giving them now a solid 1,000, almost solid 1,000 gold hit lead. They're about 300 gold ahead.
A Swain with the blue is just so dangerous.
No.
He can just free use all of his abilities and just sit in his ultimate for as long as he wants. He also picked up his boots, and he has double health potions. I don't know if he started off with boots. He didn't have Dorms in there, so he probably started off with that and picked up the potions later.
We did have Swain try and attack Maokai. He did flash over the wall here, so he's safe.
He's also at 60 CS, and Brand's only at 40, so Swain is really pushing this advantage while he has this blue and has the free fire. Not to mention, he took Brand's blue, so He's going to have blue for a little while longer.
Mm-hmm.
Top lane, Gangplank is at 70 CS. Oh, Shen is at 70, so that is a dead even. Shen has gone back and started a Heart of Gold, while Gangplank has gone back and has a Philosopher's Stone and a Heart of Gold, so his money is slightly ahead, especially with his parlays off of the minions. So we'll have to see if that becomes an issue later on, even if they maintain equal CS, that Gangplank's going to slowly creep ahead.
Yeah, and it is official. They are about 1,000 ahead now.
And on bottom lane, the Ashe has no more health potions, so we may see an Ashe go back soon. Caitlyn, I believe, still has 1 or 2, but looks like Caitlyn's going to start her first back. And we'll have to see what she buys. She's at 91 while Ashe's at 82, so she has about a 9 lead.
Oh, we do have a gank from Swain in the jungle taking out Maokai.
So strong. It looks like he's going to...
Yeah, he's not going to be even answered by Brand. It's going to do
nice
some
juke.
damage, but... Oh, lots of damage from Swain. He's not going to take tower shots for this. He
Shen.
sets up his ultimate. Brand goes down.
Ignores the Shen ultimate. Wow. Swain is so strong.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, so now he's 3-0. He still has blue, he also has red, and he's pushing in the tower. He's really pushing when he has those passive buffs. And he's showing how deadly Swain can be when he has it.
Here comes Shen coming in. I don't really know if he can do much of anything. Swain is moving a lot faster than he is right now. But it looks like Sona's coming in to help.
Not sure why Sona's coming up. Maybe to babysit the lane, but that wouldn't make much sense. Okay, just gonna be. When Caitlyn did go B, she got a BF sword and 2 Doran's blades. So she's going to be doing a lot more damage. But Ashe has gone back and bought a BF sword, we got a fight?
Yeah, we do have a bit of a fight.
Okay, Gangplank is going to back up.
Yeah, not much of one.
Okay, so then Ashe picked up a Vamp Scepter, a Doran's Blade, and some health potions, and a mana potion. So it looks like Caitlyn has slightly more damage, but Ashe has a little more sustain, which will definitely help since Caitlyn's range is higher. Ashe needs the sustain, and she can start using her.
It looks like Skarner's going to engage Dragon. Maokai coming in with Caitlyn to contest this.
Okay, so now they saw this happen, so they know that someone could come to contest. But yeah, Swain comes down. He's so dangerous right now, being 3-0. And he has red buff, too.
Absolutely. Alright, we do see a lot of damage to Sona. Sona does, but she goes down really quickly. Maokai staying in there. Caitlyn trying to do as much damage as she can.
This,
and it looks like it's going to be a free kill.
Still on Dragon, so they finished Dragon.
Yeah.
Skarner almost died, though, because he was soloing it for a little while there. So first Dragon went down at 1340, so we should see the next one at 1940.
Yeah. It is now 4-0 in favor of Falco Gaming.
Yeah, and then, oh, no, Swain didn't get, okay, Ashe got that kill. So, looks like we got a Giant's health belt and a AP stick and an AP tome from Swain. So not only is he going to have more sustainability, but he's also going to have more damage, and that's just scary to think about.
Oh, absolutely. He is so powerful this match.
Yeah, Brand, though, has picked up a Negatron Cloak to try and slow that metal damage down so he can have a bit more survivability against it if he happens to get hit by a Swain circle.
Oh, looks like we have them pushing Caitlyn. Doing lots of slow.
She did have her ultimate. She could have used it.
Yeah, I think they wanted to set up the Tarek Dazzle, but he just couldn't get in range in time. And then Sona came in, they just backed off.
Yeah, probably just backed
looks like we have Swain coming in to take out Shen.
But unfortunately, there was a ward, so Shen backed up immediately.
Yep.
Skarner babysat middle for a second, but Brand is pretty pushed to his tower.
Here comes Swain just marching into Sinster Evil's jungle.
It's a little bit. There was a ward there, so they know he's going to be there.
Yeah, looks like they are going to get the surround.
Let's see how strong
he does set up the ult. They are doing a lot of damage. We do get the root. But he flashes out of there. He is taking a lot of damage, but that sustain is ridiculous. Caitlyn is killed by Skarner in bottom. We're just following this to make sure Swain lives.
Okay,
Swain lives.
Good.
They're chasing Sona back into their jungle. It looks like Swain's going to come down.
They got a ping target, but Maokai's going to come and help defend.
Yeah.
Swain's trying to keep Brand pushed in the middle.
Yeah, Brand is really pushing down, doing lots of damage to Swain. Shen is coming up.
Swain ultis gets the kill.
Oh, that is
and now
ridiculous.
he's going to get another kill off of
Yeah, Sona's
she
setting up the
ulted.
ult. She's taking a lot of damage. She's going to get out there. Swain, just ridiculous.
Oh, it goes to the thing, and he's gonna get
Oh
away.
my god, I can't even believe it. Just a sliver of health left. Gangplank going to come in to back Swain up. They cannot take Swain down.
So Swain
Wow.
4-0-1.
And we have Skarner taking Sinster Evil's blue. This is not looking good for Sinster Evil. Falco Gaming is now almost 5,000 in gold ahead. About 4,400. Now
It
about
looks like Swain
4,000.
picked up a Rylai's to start. So he's going to have a bit of a slow every time he does spell suit. So he's going to be just even more deadly. You just don't want to face Swain right now.
Yeah, they either need to get a 5-on-1 with him or just try to
Yeah, I would say they need to
keep him busy and take out the rest of his team.
Looks like Skarner picked up a mana crystal to help with his jungle farm, and he does have a blue that he just stole, so he's going to get some nice free farm from that jungle.
Yeah, they do have a ward placed in here. We do have a couple wards for Sinster Evil down here as well.
Looked like Ash picked up a pickaxe, so she's starting to get up her Infinity Edge. Caitlyn has finished up her Berserker Greaves. Hasn't picked up anything yet, though, so we'll have to see if she goes with a Infinity Edge or a Bloodthirster. Swain coming down, going to catch the Sona off. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, he's doing lots of damage now.
Ulti.
Oh my god,
And
she's
she's
going to go
good.
down. She didn't even stand a
Nice.
chance. No damage done. We do have an
Ash
alt arrow.
diving the tower. Let's see it happen.
Oh my
Swain
gosh,
goes.
she's doing lots of damage. Caitlyn. Swain comes in and finishes her off. They're just feeding Swain at this point. Ash could have come in and finished it, but Swain just ran right up and took the kill.
So mid lane has won this game in 17 minutes.
Wow, absolutely. This is the first tower that's going to go down for Sinster Evil. Their tower, that is, and Falco Gaming is picking up that tower money.
Yeah, so Sincer, the only way they're going to keep this up is if they play a bit more defensively and if they out-farm Falco. But right now, Falco Gaming with 8 kills, and most of those kills being on the mid lane, everything is so skewed. Swain just goes in not even worrying about dying. And then when he finally is about to die, he runs away just long enough to not die.
And it looks like Gangplank's chasing out Swain, doing lots of damage to him. Shen. Shen able to take a lot of damage though.
Yeah, Gangplank went with a more tank flank spec, so while he still is better at harass, Shen doesn't have to worry as much about being like destroyed really quickly, and he didn't have to build armor to start. So instead, he's been able to build health, which is pretty nice. He just finished his war.
Yeah, we do have Swain around. Coming up, is he going to be able to catch Brand? Brand backing off, running right up into Maokai.
Okay. Honestly,
Trying
he's
to
doing
bait
no
him in, but
honestly, I think he could kill Brand before Maokai could do anything.
yeah, that's true. He's just so farmed up right now, so fed. Alright, here comes Caitlyn, gonna try and hurt him. But they do have the ward there, so he knows she's there. He's probably gonna catch her off guard. No, she's gonna mac right up to the tower. Dodging Swain, which is a really good idea at this point. But we do have Caitlyn coming in. Swain ultimates yet again, doing lots of damage to Caitlyn. Caitlyn shielded, able to back off just in time. They're trying to focus down Swain, but we do have the Gangplank ulti. Oh, and Caitlyn goes down.
Mokai's almost dead too.
Yep, he
Oh,
flashes over the wall. He's going to be safe. In comes Sona. Ults, but doesn't really do much of anything because they just walk right back out of it, still at half health. Here comes Gangplank, Ash, and Tarek. That was pretty much all of Sinster Evil versus Swain. Absolutely
Yeah, Skarner took a
incredible.
decent amount of damage.
Oh, yes.
He did, I think he picked up that kill. Or who picked up the kill?
We do have one kill for Skarner.
Yeah,
It's now
maybe he
a
didn't have a
9-0
kill. I
match.
thought he already had a kill. That's what I was saying.
Yes,
So
it could have been. But
Oh no,
Ash,
Gangplank picked up the kill. That's
oh
what it
yeah,
was.
because
With his ultimate.
he hit her with his ult. That's
Okay.
exactly what happened.
I was
All
saying,
right, Tarek and Ash and Skarner coming in. Shen just hanging out. This is probably not going to be good for Shen. They do get the lockout. He gets sucked back in by Skarner. He's taking a lot of damage, but he is doing all right. He might be able to make it back to his tower, but he's dazzled. And he goes down from Skarner. He gets his second
that
kill.
was great layering by all of their ultimates, especially with Skarner just getting his ult off as he was flashing, so it just pulled him right back. That was really good teamwork.
Yeah, absolutely. Sinster Evil's second tower goes down as it is a 10-0 match. They are now closing in on that 10K lead. which pretty much signifies their dominance in this game. Sinster Evil could come back, but it's highly unlikely at this point.
Yeah, they'd have to. This is gonna be like miracle work. They'd have to gank Swain like tons of times and try to stop team fights from ever happening for the next like 20 minutes.
It does look like the third tower has gone down for Sinster Evil, making it the last of their outer turrets.
Brand stole that. Nice. He just stole the red buff.
That's good. Well, you know, it makes sure that the enemy
That's
doesn't
what they
get it.
need.
That's
They
all
gotta
that
control
matters.
their buffs.
Yeah, here comes Swain. They're going to catch Maokai pretty much alone and out of position. Swain ulti's doing lots of damage, but Maokai being able to take it goes past his tower, and it's going to be safe. Shen coming in with Sona. They're charging right in here, trying to take out Swain and Gangplank, who are by themselves right now, but they are going to back off. Swain just way too scary. Alright, we do have a couple pings for blue. There's a couple wards for both teams in here. Swain just hanging out. Feels completely safe in Sinster Evil's jungle. Alright, we do have the roof go down. Looks like Skarner's coming in. We do have the Ash Hall. Skarner comes in, bringing back Maokai. Gangplank ult, steals the kill from Gangplank. Sona ults, trying to contain this, but there's just so much damage.
Shen ult, that's a good ult. Save the brand.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Tarek's coming in. Ash is coming in.
Yep.
Swain
is hitting up the top tower. We do have a teleport coming in. Bran goes down. Shen coming in to contest the top tower with Swain.
Yeah, unfortunately that forced the other team.
Oh, we do have an ultimate from Caitlyn hitting its top mark, but not really doing a lot of damage, considering Ash is already creeping back up with Tarek's heal. Oh, looks like Swain's going to be pushing middle now. Shen trying to combat this, trying to protect his middle turrets. And it does look like bottom's about to go down. The first middle turret for Sinster Evil has gone down. And it looks like Maokai and Shen are here to protect the middle tower. Looks like everyone's grouping up for Falco Gaming in the middle. Alright, we do have a couple pings coming in. Sona just warding this so they can see. Looks like they might try to set up for a Baron soon, or at least a Baron fight. No, it's just a pink ward.
I was saying they could Baron already, definitely.
Yeah. I kind of believe that they were going to. Tarek was coming in, and Gameplay was coming up, but Swain wasn't there yet, so once Swain's there, they can do whatever the hell they want. And that looks like exactly what they might do. No.
Okay, Swain has also picked up a Deathfire's Grasp and a Catalyst, so he could be building Banshee's Veil for more health, more mana, more sustainability, more insanity. He's already 602. Skarner's picked up Wit's End, had a Sheen for a little while, just picked up another Mana Crystal. Looks like Ash just picked up a Zeal, so finish that Infinity Edge. Get the Zeal, gonna finish Phantom Dancer, then probably build into Bloodthirster. And let's see, Tarek has finished his Shirelias and more wards. Gangplank has finished his Warmonds, gone Atlas, got a little bit of magic resist. Hasn't finished his boots yet though, so we have to see which boots he decides to go with.
Here comes Swain. They did get rid of Raze just in time. We do have several pings going down.
Yeah, lots of defensive wards for Sinster Evil.
Yeah, I think they want to try and catch someone in their jungle to try and snowball a team fight for them. They still have yet to get a kill. Falco Gaming is now over 13k ahead.
Yeah, this is a best out of 3 though, so they're definitely going to have to think about banning Swain for next match, I would say. That's probably going to be
he's
their
been
decision.
absolutely dominant.
It's either that or they can pick something that's going to be better lane against Swain, because once he hit 6, Bran just wasn't a problem anymore.
Yeah,
Which
all
is
right.
really
Looks like
scary.
Swain's coming in. Going to meet 3 of the members from Sinster Gaming,
First
or
kill.
Sinster Evil. They do
Nice.
finally bring down Swain. The first kill for Sinster Evil, taking out Swain.
Ending his killing
Pretty much, I think it was a 4-on-1. Yep, with Maokai, Sona, Caitlyn, and Brand. But Brand got the kill. So yeah, all of them got the assist for that. Which is going to be nice to spread out some of the team gold for them. If they can hopefully catch up.
Yeah, they're pretty far behind though, so they're going to have to bring it to the late game. That's the only way they're going to survive. And so far they are farming. We can, like, unfortunately they're going to kill us off first Baron though, 25 minutes.
Yeah, and they're going to be able to take them uncontested. It does look like Caitlin's coming in. She might be trying to set up a steal.
Throws a trap down. Steps
oh, a little bit too late. They are going to pick up Baron. If she just
close.
waited just a second, she probably could have stolen it.
That was really close, though. She didn't have any vision on
Oh,
her,
nice dodge from Brand. Is going to dodge that Ashe ult, which is going to head off the screen, doing no damage. But they are going to slow Brand down. Oh, here they go. They stop tons of damage. Brand flashes out of there, but he just probably can't take it. He does finally go down through Ashe. No, it looks like they're pushing mid. We do have a game plank ult.
Okay, they should push the tower then, with the ult sitting there.
Yeah, they do have the Baron buff. I think they might be waiting for Swain to push a little bit so they can do a little dual pushing. Or just maybe move up and help Swain.
Yeah, switch.
No, it looks like Tarek is just kind of messing around in the jungle.
Yeah, they're coming from multiple angles, so they're kind of forcing people to... Some people make...
Ashe is
out of position now.
Oh! The ult does hit, but doesn't do a lot of damage. Sona's out of position, getting sucked back in. She does get the Shen ult, but that's not too much. That's not enough. She goes down. Maokai goes down next. Looks like they're targeting Shen as he flashes out of there. Trying to protect this tower, but it's not going to be enough. Swain coming in, just ignoring the turrets. Doesn't really even care. They aren't able to take anyone down, but Shen is almost down.
They'll turret though. They get some people dead, and they're going to get an inhibitor.
Oh, absolutely.
They may finish the game right here. They could. They do have a creep wave. I don't know if the creep wave is big enough though.
Well, it looks like they are going to back off after they take this inhibitor. Oh, yeah. No, they're just pinging. Never mind.
Yeah, no, they're pinging objectives. That's good. Okay. They're going to pick up all the buffs, pick up Dragon, continue with their, insane gold lead.
Oh, yeah, they're creeping up on 20k ahead now.
Yeah,
and it's 15-1.
That's pretty nuts. So unfortunately, it's only 28 minutes in the game. So that means we're looking at, if we want a fully farmed team for Sinster Evil to hold off until the late game, they would need to hold out inside their base while offering up the map for over 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's really strong. It's so snowballed now that it's almost unwinnable.
They're 1k behind 20,000 gold ahead of Sinster Evil, so...
Yeah, and Swain is so farmed. He's at 213 farm. I believe he is the highest. And it looks like we just got... Ashe just finished up Phantom Dancer. Caitlyn just finished Infinity Edge. So I'm going to start building, most likely, a Phantom Dancer herself.
Just picking up red.
Looks like Tarek wants some cooldown boots. And Gangplank has finished his boots and no treads, and it looks like he's building some damage now. He has picked up a BF sword. We'll have to see what he builds that into.
Alright, here comes Gangplank charging right in. Skarner going around the side. Looks like Gangplank's going to try and lure them. Nope, he's going to back off now. Skarner moving up ahead.
Skarner also having that Oracle so he can make sure to stop wards. And
yeah, just barely dodging that little trap that Caitlyn had set.
Help with some control from
that. Alright, here we come. Here we go. Skarner pushing in. Looks like we might have to see some split pushing with Ashe, Swain, and Gangplank coming up top. They're going to meet Shen. They're going to take out this middle turret almost instantaneously.
Yeah, they can't hold their outer turrets, so that's fine. They should just let those go. Unfortunately, with zero map control, they're going to have to just constantly hold off.
We do have an Ashe ult that does hit Sona. They're running in. We do see a Gangplank ult. Lots of damage. Shen goes down. Most of Sinster Evil had to back off to try and survive. They're focusing on Brand now. Brand goes down. Now they're focusing on Maokai. Maokai goes down. They're just eating up this team. Focusing next on Caitlyn. Caitlyn tries to back up, but she goes down. Sona trying to make it back to the Summoner Circle. She doesn't make it, and the Falco Gaming picks up the ace. That's going to be game as they pick up this turret. GG's go down.
Are we going to match too? They won't surrender. It's already too close. They know they got another match.
All right, so match 1 for the Amateur Tournament, Falco Gaming versus Sinster Evil, goes to Falco Gaming. We'll have to find out what they choose next. For those of you watching the stream, continue to keep watching. We'll put on some music for you. For those on YouTube, feel free to check out the next video. Follow us at own.tv/power_underwhelming. The underscore is a symbol, not a word. And you can follow us at youtube.com/D3PowerUnderwhelming if you're watching us on OWN TV. And you can also friend us, like us on Facebook. We do have an account on there as well. So continue to follow us. And we'll be right back for match 2 of the Amateur Tournament, Falco Gaming versus Sinster Evil. We'll be right back.